guys, Katie here, and believe it or not, we are officially halfway through NaNoWriMo. So as of filming this video, it is currently day 15, and I am on 23,526 words, to be precise, because I like to be precise. So the past week have been pretty steady for me, like it was in the first week. I haven't fallen too far behind, but I haven't gotten ahead that much either. And if I do get ahead, it's normally only by a couple of hundred, so it's not a massive lead, which is still annoying me because I like to get ahead. So if you've been watching my previous videos for NaNoWriMo this year, then you will know that I've been having a lot of plot issues. And by that I mean I basically don't know what I'm doing. This week I have managed to figure out a few more things about my plot, but overall I still don't really know for sure where this is going. And of course, being 2 weeks into Nano, I am really starting to regret the fact that I didn't work this out sooner, because whilst I'm writing I have to stop a lot and figure out where the story's going instead of just being able to get on with the scene. So I'm kicking myself for not planning this more and not doing more research. I am still enjoying working on the story because I don't know what's going to happen each day, and I kind of like that. It's stressful, but it's fun because you don't know what your characters are going to do until you actually write it. The main thing is that I still love my characters. Another thing that I figured out this week is that I've actually changed my antagonist. I have an overall antagonist for this story, and I thought it was one person, but it actually turns out it'd make more sense if it was a different character. So I've switched that around and I'm excited about that. My main issue with the story this week is that I don't feel like it's progressing quickly enough. Basically, I'm still writing the same day as I was when I started the story. So I have 23,000 words of the same day because so much happens on this first day of the book. And I wish that I'd found a way to tell a lot of this stuff quicker instead of dragging out this day for so long, because I feel like I'm going to have to progress pretty quickly after this day is over, so it's going to be a pretty sharp change. You spend so long reading this one day and then all of a sudden things are going to start happening quicker, and I don't like that pacing at all. I wouldn't like that reading it, so I'm mad at myself for writing it like that. Another problem that's bugging me is that I know the story makes no sense to anybody who isn't me. I mean, nobody's going to read this story anyway, so it doesn't really matter right now, but it bugs me because I know that if somebody else tried to even read a bit of this plot, they would not understand a thing about what's going on. So I'm finding it quite difficult to try and explain the ideas that are in my head to a person that doesn't know. I've not really had that problem in any of the past nanos that I've done either, because I've been able to explain the plot quite easily. I've never really had a story this complicated before. One thing that I'm really happy about with my story is the location. I've actually taken a town that I created for my story back in Camp NaNoWriMo, and I've set this story in the same place. I prefer coming up with fictional towns for my stories, even if it's set in this world, because I don't like having to rely on the limitations of using an actual real life town, because you have to be a lot more accurate and follow more rules, and I don't want to do that, so I just make up my own town. I don't know where it's supposed to be geographically, but it's somewhere. Maybe I should just put it as an island by Britain, just floating off the side of the country. But anyway, it exists somewhere, and because I've already written a story that's set in this town, I know all of the places and I've got it mapped out pretty well, so I'm finding it very easy to write about the location. So my plot might be a mess, but at least I've got my locations down. That's one thing. So other than that, I can't really think of much else to talk about with regards to this past week of Nano. It's been pretty basic, but basic is good. That means I'm not having any emotional breakdowns. My plot is a mess, but at least I'm enjoying writing it. It's a million times better than last NaNoWriMo, because last year was a nightmare for me. Every time I opened my laptop to write, it was a chore. I just dreaded every single word and I wasn't enjoying it. Whereas this year, I don't really know what I'm writing about, but I love it anyway. So this next coming week is week 3, and for some reason, week 3 is always the worst NaNoWriMo week for me. I don't know why, it just seems to be the point where I start running out of steam and I start getting annoyed and I regret doing this. Week 3 is usually the week where I start to fall behind, but in previous nanos I've always gotten a day or two ahead, so I have that room to fall back on. This year I'm not ahead at all, so I am worried about going into week 3 without a little comfort blanket of words. So we'll see how week 3 works out. What I'm hoping over week 3 is to finally figure out the pacing of the plot and try and sort that out a little bit and actually work out some more plot points, because I'm gonna need to. So yeah, that's about it that I can think of to talk about at the moment. If you're taking part in NaNoWriMo this year, then please let me know how it's going for you. Are you enjoying the company of your characters so far? Let me know all the writerly things down in the comments. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye!